prepare the 10-year statement. And the operational planning defines the procedure for getting the 1-year operating plan and the 3-year operating plan. Basically, all users have to deliver demand and production forecast data and maintenance schedules to the DWTSO in order to enable the DWTSO to prepare this 1-year operating plan and the 3-year operating plan. And the overall goal of the 1-year operating plan and the 3-year operating plan is the planning of scheduled maintenance. There are basically two important times in the timeline of the preparation of those two documents. For the 1-year operating plan, at the end of March, the WDSO has to submit forecast and maintenance data, and each water producer has to submit forecast and maintenance data as well. The DWTSO also should prepare until this time maintenance schedule for the transmission system. After March, the DWTSO has a time of 6 months to prepare the 1-year operating plan and to deliver this plan to ECRA. And in the whole process, like we've seen it in other codes and other parts of the seawater desalination code, the DWTSO plays a very important role. He's the one who coordinates all data, who compares the data, who prepares in the end and has to deliver the plan to ECRA. To go into more detail, the distribution system operator, they have to deliver demand forecast data. And this demand forecast data comprises volume flow demand, which is basically two data sets, one for each day, the daily peak hourly volume flow, and for each day the daily average volume flow. And to be able to get these data, the historical trends are important. The distributors also use production patterns they know. They will use the projected demand growth and also the current 3-year operating plan. Besides volume flow, they have to deliver maintenance data. All planned maintenance with start and end dates within the system has to be delivered to the DWTSO. So very important for all distributors is that at the end of March, it is foreseen that they deliver those volume flow and maintenance data. Besides the distributors, also the producers have to deliver data, and while the distributors, of course, deliver demand data, the producers have to deliver how they gonna produce, how they gonna operate their plants. And it's basically the daily peak hourly production data. So this is the peak production in cubic meters per hour of each day of the following year, and the daily average in cubic meters per day for each day of the following year. And like the distributors, they use historical trends, production patterns, projected demand, and also the 3-year operating plan as a databasis. And like the distributors, they also should provide maintenance data. And the DWTSO is preparing then the one-year operating plan. And it's a major task to coordinate all data, to compare it, to sum it up. And very important to coordinate the maintenance schedules. This is very important because the production has to be always enough to follow the demand, and as soon as the distributors the distributed system operator sees any concern, he shall highlight this concern to ECRA and MOBI with distributing the one-year operating plan. So the one-year operating plan is for the very short term of the following year to plan the maintenance inside this time, and to shift whenever it's necessary maintenance to be able to follow the demand. The 3-year operating plan is pretty much the same in terms of procedure, but the forecast data is not on a daily basis, it's on a weekly basis. So the data won't be in cubic meters. Well, it's in cubic meters per hour, but for the whole week. So the peak hourly demand is 1 week, and the highest demand within this week is the data that will be submitted to DWTSO. And of course also planned outages have to be described, but in the 3-year operating plan in more detail. The code foresees that distributors and producers also say what type of maintenance it will be and the purpose of the outage, and of course the start and end date. The timeline is a little different. The data has to be submitted until end of June, and the delivery of the 3-year operating plan is like the 1-year operating plan in September. The plan has to be delivered to ECRA, and like in the 1-year operating plan, any issues of concern have to be highlighted.
Can you repeat back?
Yes.
We are talking here that it will be submitted in June or in September?
Will be submitted, the 3-year operating plan will be submitted in September to ECRA. The data will, which have to be provided by the distributors and the producers, this shall be in June. So in June, each WDSO, each water distribution system operator submits forecast data. Each water producer also submits forecast data. And DWTSO has 3 months to prepare the 3-year operating plan.
Don't you think that data for a distributor, it is important for the production?
Excuse me?
Usually forecast for the distributors, it is important for the producer to make his forecast.
Yes.
So if it is submitted in June, what is the communication can be made? It's supposed to be one before the other. One of them should submit before the other because it is linked together.
Should submit at first, and then the producer
should be like this.
Okay.
And usually most of the companies, they are starting the cycle of the business plan and planning on June. They will start it in June. So if they will submit it in June, it means they are going to start maybe earlier, from the beginning of the year maybe. it needs to be taken into consideration.
This holds true if there is only one production facility. When you have 2, 3, 4 production facilities, how will they then, and maybe operated by different entities, how will they then decide which production facility will run on 100% or lower? It's not for the purpose of scheduling, it's for the purpose of maintenance, and that's why it's bundled at the TSO. He gets information from all sides, and he then can tell the entities, look, you can do your maintenance here or there, or we don't need maybe full production next year from your end because the demand is not that high. So in order to coordinate this, it's important to know what is theoretically possible in the first instance, and there may be a loop, iterative loop, in order to prepare the plan by end of September. That's why we have this 3 months period.
Is there any example for how the shape of the, usually you are putting an example, is there an example for how the shape of the cycle will be? In next slides, I mean.
You mean the cycle for...
an example, a try for how this will be. I think there is.
I mean, this slide shows how the DWTSO is optimizing. And the DWTSO will take all data, he will sum up the production data, the demand data. And what we see here is, at the beginning, the production follows the demand. And here, the demand is higher than the production, and this is the main task of the transmission system operator, to then switch maintenance and to be able at the end that each time of the 3 years the projected demand is followed by the production. This is very abstract, of course, it's not a detailed.
Excuse me. We have 2 types here of, we have the plants, maintenance plant, and we have the pipeline itself, the transmitting line, also maintenance. So here in your example, what's happening, is it the plant maintenance?
Yes.
Or the transmission line maintenance?
It's the power plant's maintenance, and also the distribution system.
But what you call the core of all the whole business here is the transmission line, and it has its own. What is the use if there is high production, the plant is working, but the transmission line have some problems? There is a maintenance or somewhere here or that.
I mean, this slide doesn't go into details. It's just an illustration, and you're right. The WDS, the transmission system operator, he also has to review his maintenance, and he has to be able to transmit what's coming in. And yes, you're right, the bottleneck can't be the transmission system. So, to give a short summary of this chapter, there's 2 major plans, the 1-year operating plan and the 3-year operating plan, and both are to optimize maintenance scheduling of both the water producers, the distributors, and also the transmission system. And very important for the producers and the distributors, they have to deliver data until end of March. And the data for the 1-year operating plan is on a daily basis, whereas the data for the 3-year operating plan is on a weekly basis.